there, everyone. Welcome to Uncommon the Build, the place where I want to come to you each week and share my new, wild and crazy journey in the world of design. I'm Sherry Dixon, best known as educator, author, speaker, mom, now a grandma, a Gigi. Someone who, at the age of 50, decided that she wanted more out of life. And finding the next path has been quite a journey. I dabbled in interior design and decorating, real estate, writing and speaking, coaching, which I still do many of the things. But one night I had this dream, thinking about when I was just a little child and how much I loved the world of fashion, shoes and accessories and jewelry and all of the things. And I woke up with a very clear path to what was next. And I started Uncommon Jewelry. Trust me, I didn't know what I was doing. I know color and I know design and I know how to put things together because I've been in the world of leadership and having to look put together for years. But I didn't want just something that looked good. I wanted something that also helped women feel confident, courageous, and clear about their path. That one small accessory, like a bracelet, could have a huge difference on how you walk in a room, how you hold yourself, and how you believe in your worth. So, Uncommon Jewelry became something I started dabbling in and watching and learning and researching and doing all of the things. And I started to see how women show up put together, not necessarily wearing the most expensive jewelry in the world, because trust me, who can afford that right now, right? But also thinking about women who may not be 6-7-figure earners, but still want to feel confident and put together. So I started ordering little pieces, little materials, beads. Now, the funny thing is I ordered the big beads, right? And then I realized, these are too chunky. I don't like them. No, this isn't about costume jewelry. This is about jewelry that makes us feel confident. It needed to be something more polished and put together. So I returned all those beads and I got a little bit smaller beads. And then I started to think about, well, what about if I went to a more expensive bead as compared to a bulk cheap bead? I could tell the difference. I could feel the difference. And even when I put those beads together in a bracelet, I felt different putting them on. So although I have only been operating for a couple of months, yes, I'm brand new to this, I've learned so much. But what I also have learned is that as I've been selling, distributing, gifting all of my jewelry, women are not just looking at it and saying, these are beautiful, but they're saying, I love what this represents. I feel more confident. See, every piece has a specific name. As a matter of fact, the one I'm wearing today, the contrast, talks about how your uniqueness, the one bead that's different, defines who you are. And being unique, being different, doesn't mean you're not good. As a matter of fact, I don't know about y'all, but I lived in a box for too many years. A mold that somebody had created, an expectation for me of who I was supposed to be. And when I realized I wanted to be me, and I had the courage to step out and be me, that's when my life started to really be mine. And I accomplished so many things because of that. Another bracelet that I love, it's part of one of my collections, which is unique and different because, is the depth. Now, when I saw these beads, I felt like, wow, those are so beautiful. But as I looked at them even deeper, I thought, when you look through these glass beads, you can see so many facets to the design. If the bead is held one way, it's black. If it's held the other way, it's blue. Sometimes a light blue, sometimes a dark blue. And when you look down deep, you see all of the veining inside this bead. And it just made me think, as women, we are not just what's on the surface. That our beauty actually comes from what's deep down inside. And so I felt like this was one that when I put it on, I was like, here I am. As a matter of fact, I think one year someone had said to me, I know someone had said to me, you're 5'4", but your confidence is like 6'4". And I was like, that's right. And it's not because of my ego. It's not because I'm arrogant, but it's because I believe in myself, that I understand my worth. And I know that what you see on the surface is not everything about me. Now, as I was thinking about uncommon, I was thinking about women who don't fit the mold, of course. But I was also thinking about how in society so often, and I know it's getting better. I was born in the 70s. I'm about to turn 55 in a week. And, back in the day, it was all about what your body looked like, what your face looked like, what your hair looked like. And I think we're getting past that in some aspects. But I also believe that there's still that bias toward women of a certain color or certain age or a certain hairstyle or whether you can afford designer clothing or not. I don't want my jewelry to be something that people wish they could go buy. I want it to be accessible. I want it to be made for everyday living and help us feel up-leveled when we have a special occasion. Because again, what you see on the surface of me today, it's a Sunday. I don't wear makeup on Sundays. It's my boundary, my non-negotiable. I need to let myself and my skin breathe. I pull my hair back on Sundays. I wear comfortable clothing on Sundays purposefully. And I'm okay with that. Now, I kept thinking, should I get on camera talking about fashion jewelry, all the things? But I also want to be authentically myself. And I don't want women who are watching this to feel like you always have to be polished and elegant and all of the things to feel put together. So these two bracelets come from my Noir line. But I also have a line, the Presence collection, that those are everyday wearers. You can put those on with an oversized shirt and a pair of yoga pants and a pair of tennis shoes, and it's going to be chef's kiss. And then, of course, if you want something that means a little more, has some depth to it, depth. Besides the Noir collection, I have a collection called the Signature Collection. And every single one of those bracelets has something near and dear to my heart. There's one that stands for my daughter, for my granddaughter, for my sister, me being a mother. And I'm a dog mom also. And unfortunately, I lost my 14-and-a-half-year-old chocolate lab pit bull in January. And it was one of the hardest things I had to go through. So I have a bracelet for him to signify all of those pets that were loyal to us, stood by our sides, loved us no matter what we looked like, and are no longer with us. Now that one is pretty unique and special because a portion of those sales go to the pet shelter where I got my new fur baby, Cobain. And walking into their shelter, you just know animal shelters everywhere do that work because they have a calling and they don't have tons of money. And so if I can help, that's my contribution to getting me my new best friend. As you can see, these pieces mean something powerful. Thought, feeling, emotion has gone into every single one of them. They're not just beads I saw somewhere in a bin at a discount store where I wanted to just start putting them together because the colors look pretty. We could do that, but that's not who we are at Uncommon Jewelry. We think differently because we want all of us to feel like we have our place in society, that we're worth whatever our goals and dreams are. So over the next months, I want to document this journey because let me tell you, it's not been all roses. I promise you. I have shed some tears. I have had to throw materials away because they didn't work. I've had to reconfigure design because sometimes in your mind it looks one way and when it comes out in reality, not so much. I've been told no. I have been judged. As a matter of fact, I even had someone allude to the fact that I'm about to be 55, moving into an area of design that quite possibly could be geared toward younger women. But the dream is there. And when I dream something, I know it has to become a reality because it was sent to me for a reason. So, as I come to you each week, I'll share a small story about how things are going, feature one of my favorite bracelets. They're all my favorite, actually. But each week I also, or every other week, I drop a new one into a collection. So that's always exciting. And I would love to hear from you. As you start to get to know me, as you start to see my pieces, what stands out to you? Where do you still have questions? And maybe you have an idea for a new design that just might make it into one of those future collections. It's exciting because here's the thing. There are no rules. I get to do whatever I want to do. But you can't do that unless you have the confidence and the courage and the clarity to know exactly what you want. And that's my hope for anybody who stay tuned and watches my journey. All right, I've been rambling for long enough for this first session. So excited to take this journey with you and so excited to be able to have an impact on the women that will wear, share, gift, or just learn from my journey. Be sure to head over to uncommonjewelry.net if you'd like to check out our pieces. Otherwise, stay tuned because every week I'll drop a new episode so that you can learn all about me and the journey of the Uncommon Jewelry story. Have a great one.